Y'all, it is about that freaking time. I'm going to jump into this meditation real quick because we only have about 10 seconds until it starts. So if you want to meditate with me, check the description below so you can personalize your own transcendental meditation mantra. The more detail in your responses, the better. Oh yeah. That was freaking sweet. I will see y'all in the car. We'll recap all that. Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. We are freaking rocking with this. I'm kind of playing around with the background. See if I can just get it to... Yeah, I'm not too sure. But anyways, we are freaking off to another glorious boulder day. And this one's gonna be a good one. I can just feel it because timed our meals really well today. And it's not even so much about that. It's the fact that we have started yet another cycle of peptides. And this one is brand new. And it actually is going to be a really cool one because we're not doing, like my last cycle was 30 units HCG from, the syringe, just to kind of boost my natural testosterone. And then 10 units, we were doing 8 units of IGF-LR3. And so and then that just helps with nutrient shuttling and, basically just staying pumped and full pretty much at all times. It's freaking sweet. But anyways, we're now doing 10 units of IGF-LR3 and 10 milligrams of YK11, which is kind of interesting because YK11 helps with the muscle density. IGF-LR3, as I said, helps with the nutrient shuttling. So we're hoping to pack on in these next 8 weeks. On the really good side of things, hopefully we can put on a pound of muscle in a month. So 2 pounds of muscle, 2 months, doesn't seem like a goal that's too far off. I'm natural. So, defines how you define natural, because by like a non-natural bodybuilding standard in those federations that prohibit, any kind of peptides whatsoever, I'm not natural. But as far as, not using anything, not using any kind of anabolic steroids, I've steered clear of that. I've had my fair share of IGF, HCG, now YK11, and then I've only done, I had a clenbuterol for a prep. But, those don't really, one of them's an asthma medication, the clenbuterol, and then the peptides just kind of work with your natural production of everything. It's not really like you're replacing something, like with TRT, that's testosterone replacement therapy. So that being said, that's kind of the key difference between, these peptides and then anabolic steroids. So nonetheless, though, peptides will definitely give you that extra boost, for sure. So if you are, the only time that I would ever say, you're probably good to go with peptides is if you've been doing all of the basic things for a long time and you see yourself doing those basic things pretty much forever, like the basic things being nutrition, having all that set and staying consistent with it for a long time, training, staying consistent with it for a long time, stress management, staying consistent with it for a long time, and then sleep, So all those different things, if you're locked in on all of those consistently every day, then I might consider peptides. But, that's a pretty big prerequisite to jump into peptides, because there's no point. If you just got, a random peptide and you were cool, let's try this out, like retatrutide. Like that's a big one, you know, for fat loss. Now, I mean, it doesn't really work if you don't have your nutrition and your training set in place. That's how all these peptides work. So you'd be throwing away money, wasting time. You know, it's not really a path that I would go down personally. But anyways, aside from all that, we have freaking pulled up to the super close gym to our work. So we have freaking shoulders today. I'm thinking a little, probably starting off with some sort of rear delt action so that your rear delts stay activated throughout the entire workout. And then we got probably something for medial delts, you know, like a press or like a side raise, you know, something like that. And then something that's purely going to isolate two things: front raises and upper traps. Now for the upper traps, we're usually doing some variation of a shrug, whether that's just like a regular shrug or we're doing some sort of like behind the back kind of shrug, which I have really been enjoying lately, just kind of as a warm-up, because it not only triggers those upper trap fibers, but it hits a lot of those lower trap fibers that are really hard to hit. I mean, like if you only did like a row or like a lat pull down or something like that, I mean, you're hitting them a little bit for sure. You know, depends on how you do it too. But with these behind the back shrugs, oh man, they freaking light your like mid to upper traps on fire. I mean, they're freaking gnarly. And my accessory of choice for that would be cables, because if you can just get like a straight bar of some kind, go to a cable, behind the back, shrug up, you can control the weight a lot easier. And it's something about the constant tension that you get. And it's also, it's a nice path that'll align with however you're shrugging, which is kind of nice because you don't usually get that a lot with, you know, other modalities that you could do. Like with dumbbells, for instance. I mean, they're going straight down. Like, it's not like you're being pulled in the direction that you're, you know, like, let's take an example. So like if you had a behind the back shrug and you were leaning forward just a little bit, that cable would lean with you and go into the path of your shrug. Whereas with dumbbells, if you lean a tiny bit forward, you know, the dumbbells are just going down still. It's not like it's pulling back. But anyways, really been enjoying those. And then for front delts, I mean, nothing too fancy. Maybe just some front raises, but we'll have to see what's on the program, what coach has in store for us. But anyways, we're going to change here. Already got our pre-workout meal in, which was cream of rice, red meat. That's it. That's literally it. And the red meat was just ground beef. I usually get those like Costco, like 10-pound logs, pressure cook them, good to go. And those are amazing because it's super cheap. And then at the same time, it's 90% lean, which is incredible. I mean, like, I've never seen anything, you know, $5 a pound, 90% lean. I mean, that's a freaking steal. So we've been rocking out with that. But anyways, we're going to get into this freaking shoulder workout and show these shoulders what's up. So nothing else much to say, but let's just get freaking rocking.